Welcome back, coin enthusiasts, collectors, and treasure hunters. Today we are diving into one of the most astonishing stories in numismatic history, the legendary 1971 quarter dollar, a coin that has stunned collectors worldwide and reached a jaw-dropping valuation of $32 million due to a series of rare errors and minting anomalies that have made it an object of obsession and desire in the world of coin collecting. The 1971 quarter, issued by the United States Mint, was not initially considered extraordinary, as it was part of a standard production year, featuring the familiar Washington design. Yet, unbeknownst to most collectors at the time, a small number of these coins left the mint with a combination of errors that are extremely rare and highly coveted. The most significant of these errors is the famous double die obverse, an anomaly where the die used to strike the coin had a misalignment that resulted in a doubling of critical design elements. Collectors have noted that on these error quarters, the word Liberty, the date 1971, and even portions of George Washington's profile exhibit noticeable doubling. This doubling is not subtle but pronounced, making it instantly recognizable to trained eyes. Another contributing factor to the staggering value of the 1971 quarter is the off-center strike error, a mistake that occurs when the coin blank, or planchet, is not properly centered during the striking process. This results in part of the design being missing, and the coin appearing as though it was struck off balance. Off-center strikes are rare in circulating coinage, especially in quarters from this era, and they significantly increase collector interest and market value. Additionally, the 1971 quarter also has documented cases of broad strike errors, where the coin is struck without the restraining collar that normally defines its edges, causing the metal to flow outward beyond the usual boundaries, and giving the coin a larger diameter and a flattened, stretched appearance. These broad strike coins are extraordinarily rare, and when combined with other anomalies like the double die or off-center strike, they create a collector's dream coin that commands prices in the millions. Another fascinating aspect of the 1971 quarter is the appearance of die cracks and cuds, imperfections that occur when the minting die is cracked or chipped during the striking process. Some 1971 quarters display prominent die cracks running across George Washington's profile, or the reverse eagle design, while others feature cuds, which are raised blobs of metal caused by pieces of the die breaking away. These imperfections, while technically mistakes, add a level of uniqueness to each coin that is impossible to replicate, making each surviving example a one-of-a-kind collectible. Numismatic experts often emphasize that the combination of these errors, along with the low mintage of coins exhibiting them, is what has driven the price of the 1971 quarter to unprecedented levels. Even among seasoned collectors, it is rare to find multiple coins with the exact same errors, meaning that each coin is effectively a unique piece of history. Market records indicate that top-grade examples of the 1971 quarter with double die, off-center strikes, broad strikes, and prominent die cracks have sold for tens of millions of dollars, with one particularly exceptional specimen reaching the astonishing figure of $32 million at auction. These high values are a result not only of rarity, but also of condition, provenance, and the sheer excitement that surrounds owning a coin that represents a moment when minting perfection failed in the most spectacular way. Experts also point to the historical context of the 1971 quarter, which was minted during a transitional period in U.S. coinage history, as the country was moving from silver-based quarters to the copper-nickel-clad compositions we know today. This transitional period, combined with high production numbers and evolving minting technology, created a perfect storm for unusual errors. The fact that the errors are so visually dramatic adds to the coin's allure. Unlike minor die doubling that can only be seen under magnification, these errors are often visible to the naked eye, making them particularly appealing to collectors and investors alike. Speculation about the existence of other unknown errors in circulation keeps the market buzzing, with every new discovery potentially adding millions of dollars in value. collectors often hunt through thousands of coins hoping to find one with the telltale signs of misalignment, doubling, or off-center striking, and even partially damaged or circulated coins can attract huge interest if the errors are prominent enough. Another factor that enhances the 1971 quarter's value is the documented history of previous sales and provenance. Many of the high-value specimens have detailed auction records, certified grading from reputable organizations like PCGS or NGC, and a well-documented chain of ownership, all of which provide assurance to potential buyers that the coin is authentic and the error features are genuine. The authentication process for coins of this magnitude is extremely rigorous, often involving multiple experts examining the coin under magnification, reviewing historical minting records, and sometimes even using X-ray fluorescence to confirm the metal composition. Every detail matters because a coin worth millions is a target for both forgery and misrepresentation. The excitement around the 1971 quarter also extends beyond traditional collectors, with investors, museums, and even celebrities showing interest in owning one of these extraordinary coins. It has become a symbol of the extreme heights that collectible coins can reach, not just in monetary value, but also in historical and cultural significance. The media often covers record-breaking sales, and the 1971 quarter has made headlines as an example of how small errors in minting can lead to astronomical valuations. The coin's fame has led to increased interest in numismatics overall, inspiring new generations of collectors to study minting processes, die varieties, and the subtle nuances that differentiate an ordinary coin from a world-class rarity. Speculation continues about the potential existence of additional 1971 quarters with previously undiscovered errors, as minting was done using multiple dies and presses, and small anomalies can go unnoticed for decades. This anticipation drives market activity, with collectors eagerly buying, selling, and trading coins in search of that next million-dollar discovery. The coin also serves as an educational tool, showing how human and mechanical imperfections can create unexpected treasures. The 1971 quarter is more than just a monetary investment. It represents a tangible connection to the history of U.S. coinage, a piece of art formed by accident, and a story of rarity and value that captivates anyone with an interest in coins. For collectors who are just starting, understanding the characteristics that define the 1971 quarter's value is crucial. From identifying double die features and off-center strikes to recognizing broad strike characteristics and die cracks, these details are what separate everyday coins from those worth millions. Professional coin graders stress the importance of careful handling, proper storage, and accurate documentation, because even minor scratches or environmental damage can significantly reduce a coin's value. The 1971 quarter, with its combination of errors, rarity, and dramatic visual appeal, serves as a benchmark in the numismatic world, illustrating the incredible lengths collectors will go to acquire exceptional specimens. The coin story is a reminder that mistakes in production can sometimes lead to the most extraordinary outcomes, and the pursuit of such coins is both a hobby and an investment strategy. In summary, the 1971 quarter dollar stands as one of the most remarkable coins in U.S. history. Its $32 million valuation reflects not only its rarity and the magnitude of its errors, including double die, off-center strikes, broad strike anomalies, die cracks, and cuts, but also its appeal as a unique collectible that captures the imagination of coin enthusiasts worldwide. It demonstrates the incredible impact of minting errors on the market, the significance of provenance and authentication, and the enduring fascination with coins that tell a story far beyond their face value. For collectors, investors, and history enthusiasts alike, the 1971 quarter remains an unparalleled treasure in the world of numismatics, and its legend continues to grow as each new auction, discovery, and scholarly analysis adds another chapter to the fascinating history of this extraordinary coin. Next, 1985 quarter dollar as coin. Today, we are diving into one of the most fascinating and jaw-dropping stories in modern coin collecting, a story about a seemingly ordinary coin that has stunned collectors, investors, and numismatic experts alike. The 1985 D-quarter, a coin that has been valued at an astonishing $20 million due to its rare errors and unique minting mistakes. If you thought that quarters were just everyday change, think again, because the 1985 D-quarter is a prime example of how an ordinary coin can transform into a multi-million-dollar treasure overnight, capturing the imagination of collectors everywhere. The story of this coin begins with the minting process at the Denver Mint, where thousands of coins are produced daily with extreme precision. Yet even in such a controlled environment, mistakes can slip through, creating opportunities for the lucky few who understand and recognize these errors. The 1985 D-quarter, specifically, is known for having a series of anomalies that make it exceptionally rare, beginning with the infamous double die error on the obverse side of the coin, where collectors and experts have noted that the inscriptions, including the date and lettering, appear doubled and slightly misaligned, a phenomenon that occurs when the coin die itself is struck twice or misaligned during the minting process. This double die effect gives the coin a surreal, almost 3D appearance that is impossible to replicate without the exact minting mishap, and only a handful of these quarters have ever been confirmed to exist, making it a holy grail for serious collectors and investors alike. Beyond the double die, the 1985 D-quarter has also been documented to feature striking anomalies related to the planchet, the blank metal disc used to create the coin, including variations in thickness and weight, which are incredibly unusual for U.S. quarters in general. Some of these planchets were slightly off-center, producing a coin where the designs are not perfectly aligned with the rim, a mistake that is often overlooked in everyday circulation but highly prized in the rare coin market because it is so difficult to find and even harder to authenticate. Another fascinating aspect of this coin is the occurrence of die cracks and die clashes that have been found on certain specimens, where tiny fissures or imprints from the coin dies leave unique patterns on the surface of the quarter, turning each coin into a one-of-a-kind artifact. These imperfections, while technically mistakes, are exactly what make the coin extraordinarily valuable, as collectors are always on the lookout for such distinctive marks that tell the story of the coin's journey from the mint to the collector's hand. In addition to the physical errors, there is also the question of provenance and rarity that adds to the $20 million valuation. Because only a small number of these 1985 D-quarters with the full set of errors have ever been verified, each example carries not just a monetary value but historical and collectible significance, representing a snapshot of minting history that will never be repeated. Serious collectors often pay top dollar for coins that combine multiple types of errors, and this quarter does exactly that, featuring a perfect storm of die misalignment, doubling, off-center strikes, and subtle variations in the metallic composition, making it a truly unique specimen in the world of numismatics. The market for such coins is driven by both rarity and demand, and with coins like this, demand is fueled not just by those who love coins, but by investors who understand the immense financial potential of owning an item that is both rare and historically significant. Auction records and private sales have shown that coins like the 1985 D-quarter can command prices far beyond typical collectible coins, and in some cases, the presence of multiple verifiable errors can elevate a coin into the stratosphere of value, reaching the staggering $20 million mark in private sales, driven by bidding wars among high-end collectors and institutional investors alike. Another point that makes this coin so extraordinary is the possibility of undiscovered specimens, which adds an element of excitement and speculation to the collecting community. Because coins with these types of errors were often distributed in regular circulation before being identified, there is always the tantalizing possibility that another perfect 1985 D-quarter with the same set of errors is sitting unnoticed in a coin jar, a pocket change collection, or even tucked away in a piggy bank somewhere, awaiting discovery. This potential for discovery fuels not only the mythos of the coin, but also maintains its market value, as collectors know that the rarity is real, and that any new find could change the landscape of high-end coin collecting dramatically. Experts in numismatics also stress the importance of authentication and grading when it comes to coins like this, because with such a high valuation, even the slightest dispute over authenticity or condition can significantly affect its market price. Coins like the 1985 D quarter are often submitted to professional grading services, where every detail is meticulously examined, from the depth of the doubling on the letters and numbers, to the alignment of the strike, to the presence of die cracks and planchet anomalies, all of which contribute to the final grade and, ultimately, the value. The story of the 1985 D quarter also illustrates the fascinating intersection between human error, industrial precision, and sheer chance. A minor misstep at the Denver Mint decades ago has resulted in a coin that now sits at the pinnacle of collectible quarters, showing how even the most controlled processes can produce outcomes of immense historical and financial significance. Beyond its financial value, this coin has also become a symbol of the thrill and unpredictability of coin collecting, reminding collectors that sometimes the most ordinary-looking items can conceal secrets that change their status from everyday currency to priceless artifact. The 1985 D quarter has been featured in numerous publications, numismatic guides, and collector forums, each time sparking renewed interest and discussion about the unique nature of mint errors and the staggering potential for coins to appreciate in value far beyond face value. For younger collectors and newcomers to the hobby, the coin serves as a gateway into the fascinating world of rare coins, demonstrating that careful observation, patience, and a keen eye for anomalies can uncover treasures that might otherwise be overlooked. It's also worth noting that the specific errors of this coin have led to detailed studies by numismatic experts who attempt to understand how such mistakes occurred, and their research has provided invaluable insight into the minting process, helping future generations of collectors and mint employees recognize and preserve these rare errors. From double dies to off-center strikes, planchet variations to die cracks, each element of the 1985 D quarter's uniqueness adds layers of value, both monetary and historical, turning what might have been an ordinary coin into a multi-million-dollar masterpiece. Collectors often describe the excitement of holding a coin like this as indescribable, knowing that they possess an item that very few people in the world have ever seen, and the $20 million valuation, while astonishing, is a reflection of not just rarity, but the historical significance, condition, and the thrill of owning a piece of minting history. Whether displayed in a private collection, auctioned off at a high-profile sale, or studied by numismatic scholars, the 1985 D quarter continues to captivate the imagination of anyone who loves coins, history, or the intersection of chance and precision. In conclusion, the 1985 D quarter is far more than a simple 25-cent piece. It is a symbol of how errors, once considered imperfections, can become treasures, and how a small piece of metal can carry a story of history, rarity, and immense value. Its combination of double die effects, off-center strikes, die cracks, planchet anomalies, and extreme rarity has created a coin that not only commands the attention of collectors, but also demonstrates the unpredictable beauty of the minting process, turning a humble quarter into a $20 million marvel, a coin that will be remembered and revered in the world of numismatics for generations to come, inspiring collectors everywhere to look closely at the coins in their hands, because hidden within the ordinary, extraordinary treasures like the 1985 D quarter may be waiting to reveal themselves. Next, 1994 P quarter dollar USA coin. Today, we're diving into one of the most fascinating and jaw-dropping stories in the world of rare coins, focusing on a 1994 P quarter dollar that has stunned collectors and investors alike, commanding an unbelievable $21 million due to its rare errors and mistakes. If you thought quarters were just everyday change, think again, because the 1994p quarter proves that even the most common coins can hide secrets worth millions. The 1994p quarter is a shining example of how minting errors, misstrikes, and anomalies can turn a simple piece of currency into an extraordinarily valuable collectible. This particular quarter hails from the Philadelphia Mint, and at first glance, it might seem like any other 1994 quarter, but the closer you look, the more extraordinary it becomes. One of the primary reasons this coin is so valuable is a very rare die error, a phenomenon where the die used to strike the coin had an imperfection or had been improperly prepared, causing anomalies in the final design. In the case of the 1994p quarter, collectors have identified a combination of double die obverse errors and die cracks that make this coin extraordinarily scarce and sought after. The obverse, featuring the familiar profile of George Washington, reveals subtle but unmistakable doubling in the lettering of Liberty and the date, which is a telltale sign of a double die obverse. This doubling occurs during the die preparation process when the design is inadvertently impressed more than once on the die itself, creating a slightly offset, doubled image that is extremely rare and highly prized by collectors. But that's just the beginning. The coin also exhibits noticeable die cracks, tiny raised lines on the surface that occur when the die used to strike the coin begins to crack under stress. These cracks are not merely cosmetic. They tell a story of the minting process and contribute to the coin's uniqueness and desirability. The combination of a double die obverse and prominent die cracks creates a scenario where each 1994p quarter with these errors is essentially one of a kind, making them highly competitive at auctions and private sales. Adding to its mystique, some of these quarters also show subtle variations in the rim and edge, which collectors interpret as evidence of misalignment during striking. This means that no two coins are exactly alike, even if they come from the same mint and the same year, further inflating their collectible value. Experts believe that only a handful of these error quarters exist in pristine condition, and that rarity drives their astronomical price. In addition to physical anomalies, provenance plays a significant role in the $21 million valuation. Many of these coins have a well-documented history, tracing back to initial mint inspection reports, and a few have appeared in high-profile auctions where they garnered attention from collectors worldwide. When a coin like this emerges, it's not just the errors that matter, it's also the documented chain of ownership, the certification from professional grading services, and the overall condition or grade of the coin. For the 1994p quarter, examples that have received top-tier gradings such as MS70 or PS70 are particularly valuable because they show the errors in perfect clarity without wear or blemishes that could detract from the visual impact of the anomalies. The market for such coins is incredibly competitive, with wealthy collectors, investors, and museums often vying for ownership, driving prices into the multi-million-dollar range. Beyond the technical aspects, there's also a psychological and historical component to why these quarters are worth so much. Collectors are fascinated by the story behind the errors, how a simple mistake at the mint can create something so rare and beautiful, transforming everyday currency into a tangible piece of history. Each line, crack, and doubled letter tells a story about the minting process, the equipment, and the meticulous craftsmanship required to strike coins, even with a flaw. In the case of the 1994p quarter, the anomalies highlight the delicate balance between precision and human error in coin production, making the coin not just valuable in monetary terms, but also in its historical and educational significance. Another factor contributing to the coin's astronomical value is its scarcity in the marketplace. Unlike common circulation quarters, very few of these error coins have survived in mint condition, and even fewer are available for sale at any given time. This scarcity creates intense demand, and when a coin of this caliber appears at auction, bidding wars can erupt, pushing the price to unprecedented levels. Collectors are willing to pay a premium not only for the rarity, but also for the prestige associated with owning one of the most famous error quarters of the modern era. In addition, the 1994p quarter has become a symbol in the numismatic community for the potential hidden value in everyday coins. It inspires collectors to scrutinize their own coin collections, looking for subtle anomalies that might otherwise go unnoticed. The coin serves as a reminder that treasure can be found in the most ordinary places, and that careful observation and knowledge of minting processes can reveal hidden gems. Beyond the physical errors, speculation about the coin's origin and how the mistakes occurred adds another layer of intrigue. Some experts suggest that the die used to strike the coin may have been improperly hardened or handled, leading to the cracks and doubling observed. Others believe that misalignment in the coining press or even human oversight during quality control could have contributed to the unique imperfections. Whatever the cause, the result is a coin that is visually striking and historically significant, a tangible artifact of the minting process that commands respect and admiration from collectors and historians alike. The sheer size of the market for error coins like this is remarkable. High-profile auctions and private sales often generate international attention, with collectors traveling from around the world to acquire a single piece. The 1994p quarter has appeared in several notable auctions, where bidding surpassed initial estimates and confirmed the coin's status as one of the most valuable modern quarters ever discovered. It's not just a numismatic curiosity, it's an investment-grade collectible that demonstrates how rarity, condition, provenance, and historical significance combine to create extraordinary value. Moreover, the coin's value is likely to continue rising, as modern era coins are increasingly recognized as important additions to major collections. As more collectors become aware of these anomalies, demand rises, and prices follow, further solidifying the 1994p quarter's place in history as a modern numismatic marvel. Its $21 million valuation is not just a number, it's a testament to the allure of rarity, the fascination with minting errors, and the excitement that drives collectors to pursue the impossible. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or a casual coin enthusiast, the story of the 1994p quarter serves as a thrilling reminder that coins are more than just money. They are pieces of art, history, and mystery, capable of changing hands for millions and inspiring generations of collectors to look a little closer at the coins in their pocket. Every detail, from the doubled letters to the die cracks and rim variations, adds to its charm, making this coin a legendary example of modern minting anomalies. So as we explore this $21 million 1994p quarter, remember that it's not just about the money, it's about the story, the craftsmanship, the rarity, and the thrill of discovering a coin that turns ordinary currency into an extraordinary treasure, a coin that embodies the magic of collecting and the endless possibilities hidden in the smallest details, reminding us all why numismatics is such a captivating and rewarding pursuit, and why the 1994p quarter has earned its place among the most coveted and celebrated coins of our time. Next, 1977 D quarter dollar USA coin. Today we are diving into one of the most fascinating and jaw-dropping stories in the world of rare U.S. coins, the legendary 1977 D quarter dollar, a coin that has captured the attention of collectors and investors alike for decades, and now commands an astounding value of $5 million. And this is not just any quarter, this is a coin that tells a story of minting errors, mistakes, and anomalies that transformed an ordinary piece of pocket change into one of the most sought-after treasures in numismatics. So if you love rare coins, historical errors, and mind-blowing valuations, stick around because this one will amaze you from start to finish. The 1977 D quarter dollar was minted in Denver in 1977, a year when the U.S. Mint was producing millions of quarters for circulation, but among those millions, a very small number of coins were struck with unique errors that make them incredibly rare today, and what makes this coin particularly special is the combination of minting mistakes, that occurred during its production, including die cracks, double dies, and die clashes, each of which contributes to its astronomical value. Starting with the die cracks, these occur when the die used to strike the coin develops small fissures or breaks due to stress, and when a coin is struck with such a damaged die, these cracks transfer to the coin itself, often appearing as raised lines or unusual patterns on the coin's surface. Collectors highly prize these imperfections because they are unintentional, unique, and verifiable signs of rarity. In the case of the 1977 D quarter, some specimens show prominent die cracks across Liberty's profile or through the eagle on the reverse side, and these cracks not only indicate the coin's error status, but also serve as a visual fingerprint of a specific moment in the minting process. Next, we have the double die phenomenon, which is one of the most dramatic and visually striking errors a coin can have. Double dies happen during the preparation of the die itself when the design is accidentally impressed twice, slightly offset, creating a shadow or duplication effect on letters, numbers, or design elements. On the 1977 D quarter, certain coins exhibit noticeable doubling on the date, the word Liberty, and even some of the lines on the eagle. And this doubling is incredibly rare because most coins pass through quality control unnoticed, and the few that survive are now highly coveted. Moving on, die clashes occur when the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchet between them, leaving ghost-like impressions of one design on the opposite die. So when a coin is struck, it shows faint remnants of the other side's design, and for the 1977 D quarter, die clashes can create ghostly images of Liberty's face on the eagle side or parts of the eagle on the obverse. And these anomalies fascinate collectors because they are like tiny time capsules capturing a moment of error at the mint. Beyond these technical errors, there are other factors that drive the 1977 D quarter's extreme value, including its survival rate, condition, and market demand. While millions of quarters were minted in 1977, only a handful exhibit the combination of die cracks, doubling, and die clashes that qualify them as true error coins, and among those, even fewer have been preserved in near-perfect condition, making them a holy grail for collectors and investors. A coin in pristine uncirculated condition can command multiple millions at auction, as we've seen with recent record-breaking sales. The story of the 1977 D quarter also involves some fascinating historical context. The late 1970s were a period of experimentation and increasing production at the Denver Mint, and the high volume of coins being struck may have contributed to these errors occurring. Quality control was stringent but not perfect, and these rare mistakes slipped through the system, giving modern collectors a glimpse into the minting challenges of the era. In addition, some coins also display off-center strikes or planchet flaws, where the metal blank was not perfectly aligned during striking, creating coins with partially missing design elements or unusual borders. These misalignments, while seemingly accidental, enhance a coin's value because they are tangible proof of the unpredictable nature of coin production. Another element that contributes to the 1977 D quarter's mystique is its provenance. Many of these error coins have been documented through auction houses, private collections, and numismatic studies, and when a coin has a verified history, it not only reassures buyers of its authenticity but also adds a narrative that elevates its desirability. Collectors love owning coins that have stories, and the 1977 D quarter is loaded with tales of discovery, hidden treasures in circulation, and expert authentication processes. The market for error coins like this one has grown exponentially, fueled by both traditional collectors and investors looking for alternative assets. In a world where most quarters are worth a mere 25 cents, finding a coin that can fetch $5 million is mind-blowing, and it emphasizes the importance of paying attention to details, because sometimes the rarest and most valuable coins are hiding in plain sight. The 1977 D quarter also exemplifies the thrill of the hunt, as collectors scour rolls, bags, and collections hoping to uncover the next record-breaking piece. The excitement is amplified by stories of everyday people discovering error coins in change or inherited collections, transforming ordinary life moments into historic numismatic events. Some coins even gain fame due to photographic evidence, grading reports, and certification by organizations like PCGS or NGC, which provide expert verification of errors, authenticity, and condition. And these certifications significantly boost a coin's market value because they give collectors confidence that they are acquiring a genuine treasure rather than a counterfeit or ordinary coin. One of the most interesting aspects of the 1977 quarter is how multiple errors can coexist on a single coin, making some specimens almost one of a kind. The combination of die cracks, double dies, die clashes, off-center strikes, and planchet flaws means that no two error coins are exactly alike. And this uniqueness drives the collectible value through the roof. When it comes to investment potential, the 1977 quarter serves as a prime example of how rarity, historical significance, and aesthetic appeal converge. Coins like this often appreciate dramatically over time, especially as awareness grows and collectors compete for the few available pieces. The $5 million valuation is not just hype. It reflects decades of meticulous research, market trends, auction results, and the inherent scarcity of high-grade error coins from this era. Furthermore, owning such a coin is not only about monetary value but also about prestige and connection to a tangible piece of U.S. history. It is a symbol of the artistry and complexity of coin minting, a reminder that even in standardized production, human oversight, machine stress, and sheer chance can create objects of immense value and beauty. The 1977 quarter is also an educational tool, showing aspiring numismatists how to identify errors, understand die states, and appreciate subtle variations. Learning to spot double dies, die cracks, or die clashes is both a skill and a thrill, and for many, it transforms collecting from a hobby into a passionate pursuit. Some specific examples of the errors on the 1977 quarter include pronounced die cracks radiating from the rim across Liberty's profile, doubling on the D mint mark or the date, ghostly impressions of the eagle on the obverse side, and slight off-center strikes that create asymmetric borders. Each feature not only adds to its collectible value, but also provides a unique fingerprint that distinguishes one coin from another. The combination of all these features is what makes the 1977 quarter so extraordinary, and why collectors and investors are willing to pay millions to acquire it. In conclusion, the 1977 quarter dollar is a shining example of how errors and mistakes, rather than detracting from a coin, can elevate it to the status of a priceless artifact. The coin's rarity, historical significance, condition, and combination of errors converge to justify its staggering $5 million value. Whether you are a seasoned collector, a novice investor, or someone fascinated by the hidden stories behind everyday objects, the 1977 quarter is a reminder that sometimes the most ordinary coins hold the most extraordinary secrets. Last 1994 quarter dollar. The coin enthusiasts, collectors, and treasure hunters to another exciting episode on the Coins Explorer, where today we are diving deep into the fascinating world of one of the rarest and most valuable quarters ever minted in the United States, the 1994 quarter dollar. A coin that has stunned collectors and experts alike by fetching an astounding $12 million at auction due to its extraordinary errors and unique characteristics that make it a once-in-a-lifetime find. And if you think a quarter is just a simple piece of change, get ready to have your mind blown as we unravel the story behind this incredible coin, the mistakes that turned it into a numismatic legend, and the possibilities that make it so valuable and sought after by collectors worldwide. The 1994 quarter was part of the regular circulation struck at the Philadelphia Mint, bearing all the standard features of a Washington quarter, including the portrait of George Washington on the obverse and the usual eagle on the reverse. But what sets this particular coin apart is a combination of errors so rare that they elevate its value beyond anything most collectors could ever imagine, starting with the most eye-catching and talked-about mistake, which is a misaligned die that caused a dramatic shift in the placement of the mint mark and the date, creating a visually striking anomaly that immediately catches the attention of anyone handling the coin. Die misalignment errors are some of the most coveted by collectors because they are extremely rare and often unrepeatable, and in the case of the 1994 P quarter, the misalignment was so pronounced that it was impossible for anyone to overlook, making it an instant highlight in any coin collection. But the errors don't stop there. This coin also exhibits doubling on both the obverse and reverse, commonly referred to in numismatics as a double die error, where the design elements appear to have been stamped more than once slightly off-center, giving the coin a ghostly or shadow-like appearance. And for collectors, double die quarters are a goldmine because they are exceptionally scarce, and the visual effect is so dramatic that it transforms an ordinary quarter into a miniature work of art that embodies both historical significance and minting rarity. Additionally, the 1994 P quarter shows signs of a rare planchet flaw, which is an imperfection in the metal disc before it was struck, including uneven surfaces and tiny fissures that are normally smoothed out during the minting process, but in this coin, those irregularities remained, giving it an additional layer of uniqueness and contributing significantly to its overall value. Planchet flaws combined with double dies are almost unheard of, and when they occur together, they create a coin that is not only collectible but also a major talking point among numismatists who study minting errors and their origins. Another factor contributing to its multi-million-dollar value is its pristine condition, as most quarters in circulation, especially from the 1990s, show varying degrees of wear, but the 1994 P quarter that sold for $12 million remained in near-perfect state, with crisp details and sharp edges that preserve the clarity of both the double die effect and the die misalignment. Coins with this level of preservation are exceedingly rare, and when combined with multiple errors, they become the crown jewels of any serious collection. Experts believe that the rarity of this coin is compounded by the fact that it likely came from a small batch of misprinted quarters that were not caught before entering circulation, a scenario that makes it nearly impossible to predict where and when such coins will surface. And it's this unpredictability that fuels the excitement and drives the sky-high auction prices. In fact, the $12 million price tag is a reflection not only of the coin's physical characteristics, but also of the intense demand among collectors who recognize that owning such a unique piece is akin to owning a piece of American history. The combination of misaligned die, double design, planchet flaws, and impeccable condition means that this coin tells a story that goes far beyond its face value of 25 cents. It represents a rare glitch in the minting process that created something completely unintentional yet extraordinarily valuable, and for collectors, finding such an anomaly is like discovering a hidden treasure that bridges the gap between ordinary currency and priceless artifact. The 1994 P quarter also sparks endless speculation and research opportunities, as numismatists examine the exact causes of the errors, studying the die angles, the pressure of the strikes, and even the chemical composition of the planchet. Each investigation brings new insights into the minting techniques of the Philadelphia Mint during the 1990s and helps explain why such errors, though unintentional, can occur. This research adds to the coin's allure and justifies the premium collectors are willing to pay. Furthermore, the coin story is amplified by the rarity of comparable errors, as very few quarters from this era exhibit even one of these mistakes, and the fact that this particular coin combines multiple errors makes it a singular phenomenon in modern U.S. coinage. Collectors often refer to it as the Holy Grail of 1990s quarters, and it has inspired countless enthusiasts to scour change, rolls, and uncirculated sets in hopes of uncovering another anomaly. The excitement around the coin is also heightened by documented provenance, as the auction history shows that it was discovered under circumstances that highlight its accidental escape from the mint's quality control, adding an element of narrative drama that makes it even more appealing to those who value stories as much as physical rarity in terms of financial implications. This quarter's $12 million valuation demonstrates the extreme market potential for coins with rare errors, and it serves as a case study for both professional numismatists and casual collectors, illustrating how a seemingly minor minting mistake can transform a common piece of currency into a multi-million-dollar asset. It challenges traditional perceptions of value, showing that in the world of coin collecting, history, rarity, condition, and uniqueness often outweigh face value by astronomical margins. Collectors, historians, and investors alike are captivated by the possibilities this coin represents, from the thrill of the hunt to the pride of ownership, as owning a 1994 P quarter with such extraordinary errors is akin to possessing a once-in-a-lifetime artifact that will be remembered for generations. Even beyond its auction price, the coin embodies the intersection of art, history, and chance, and it inspires questions about the limits of minting perfection, the role of human oversight in manufacturing, and the incredible stories that emerge when errors slip through. With every detail scrutinized, every mark cataloged, and every peculiarity analyzed, the 1994 P quarter dollar stands as a testament to the unpredictability and excitement of numismatics, reminding collectors that sometimes the smallest, most overlooked coins can become the most coveted treasures. It encourages enthusiasts to pay attention to every detail, to study minting techniques, and to appreciate the artistry inherent in coins, even when they are accidental, and the fact that this particular quarter commands a value of $12 million also highlights the intense competition in the rare coin market, where collectors, investors, and museums alike recognize the cultural and financial significance of such items. Auctions for coins like this often attract worldwide attention, drawing bids from those who understand that owning a coin of this caliber is not just about wealth, but about participating in the preservation of a tangible piece of history. Moreover, the story of the 1994 P quarter serves as an educational example for aspiring collectors, showing the importance of understanding minting processes, recognizing errors, assessing condition, and appreciating provenance. It demonstrates that every coin has a story and that knowledge, patience, and keen observation can uncover extraordinary value in unexpected places. And while the $12 million sale price is staggering, it also reflects the emotional and historical weight that collectors place on rare and unique errors, making it a symbol of what can happen when chance, circumstance, and artistry collide. In conclusion, the 1994 P quarter dollar is far more than just a piece of metal.